Okay, this is a troubleshooting video to troubleshoot problems that you might have with your UnSIt WALK-1 treadmill or treadmill desk. One of the most common calls we get is that the treadmill won't go, and the most common reason it won't go is it's not plugged in or it doesn't have power for some reason. So the first thing to always check is we troubleshoot the power. Start at the wall where your treadmill is plugged into, make sure that's a working outlet. I know this sounds silly, but very often it's not. You can get a desk lamp or some other appliance, plug it in, make sure you've got a working electrical outlet. Once you verify the electrical outlet is good, then follow the cord up to the treadmill. There's a red toggle switch on the front head of the treadmill that switches the power off and back on. When the power's on, there's an LED light inside that power switch that will light up. So you should see that red switch lit up red. Once you've verified it's lit up red, then we've got power to the treadmill. We keep moving up the path. There's also a pop-up circuit breaker right next to that red toggle switch. Make sure that's not sticking out. If that's sticking out, push it back in, replug the treadmill back in, and see what happens, see if you've got power now. So once we've got that red power switch lit up, then we move upstairs. The next most common problem is that people have is that there's an emergency stop mechanism. Now this stop mechanism is installed under the front of your desk. You often can't see it. And it's a safety mechanism to ensure that should you fall off the treadmill or step off the treadmill, the power will get shut off. Now, of course, the UnSIt treadmill desk has weight sensors that will also stop the treadmill, but this is a required emergency stop switch. Highly recommend that it's worn on your clothing. And when the lanyard is pulled out, it pulls power and stops the treadmill. So one of the most common calls we get is the treadmill won't go, it doesn't have power, and it's simply plug the lanyard back in. And you also have to make sure you've snapped it in, you hear that click, and it's in snug and it doesn't fall out. If you've lost this lanyard, which is another call that we've gotten, call us up, email, we can ship another one of these out to you at no cost. So you've now verified that the lanyard emergency stop mechanism is plugged in and snapped in tight. Once that's snapped in, you now should have blinking LED lights on your controller. Click the knob, the red light should start fanning and blinking. If you have red lights blinking on the LED controller, now we have power all the way through the system. If it still won't go, it's most likely the weight sensors inside the deck, underneath the deck of the treadmill. And we have a calibration procedure that will recalibrate those, and 9 times out of 10 that solves the problem. And you'll know when the weight sensors aren't working by the following. Your treadmill is now going. So you've got lights, your treadmill is walking, everything's working normally. And the way everything should work correctly is when you step off the treadmill and take your weight off, the treadmill automatically comes to a stop. The lights are continuing to go. Step back on, click the controller a second time, the treadmill starts back up. Now, in the event that you click the treadmill, so I'm going to pause. So you've stepped on your treadmill, you click, and nothing happens. You'll hear that relay click, nothing happens, the treadmill won't go. You've got problems with the weight sensor, they need to be simply recalibrated. And there's a separate video on the support page here to show you how to calibrate the weight sensor.